Hello, my name is Denise Berry. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am a social media influencer, a model, and a part-time tree hugger. I wanted to talk about, drumroll please, African movies. My parents are from Congo, which is a country in Africa. Ever since I was young, I always watched African movies. So instead of watching like the regular classics like Rush Hour and Clueless, I was watching Passion of the Soul and Beyonce, and not the Beyonce that you think I'm talking about. Recently, I just got the idea, like, why don't I just like rewatch my favorite childhood movies to see if they kind of hold weight as they did? Because before, you couldn't tell me that these were not Oscar nominated movies. Like, you couldn't tell me anything from the wardrobe to the storylines.
Have you really, deep down inside you, ever fallen in love before?
Nope, because I don't want to end up looking this miserable.
To the freaking beautiful set designs. I'm like, oh my god, I love this. The one movie that I decided to rewatch was Princess Tyra. It aged like milk, y'all, and I'm just gonna talk about it. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting with my LA Girl Pro concealer. So the movie starts off with the legendary Von Victor. If you grew up on Nollywood movies, then you know the girls that get it. The fact that I almost poked my eye out. He gets out the car, you know, it seemed like there's gonna be like a traditional-esque ceremony going on, welcoming him and his mother into their kingdom. So you can tell off the rip, like, my baby was not feeling it. He gets out the car in this clean white suit, and he is basically being showered with rose petals at his feet. And then he tells his fiance basically like, hey, I told you on multiple occasions, I don't like this on my feet.
I have told you several times before, but I don't like these ceremonial things around my feet.
I don't like this. Like, I don't like when y'all do this. And she corrects, you know, tells him like, honey, like you are royalty. This is the royal customs of my village. So if you don't like it, too bad. We get to see the ceremony of Tyra's village welcoming him into their palace. And it was beautiful, y'all. Like, I loved the whole thing. I loved the dress that Tyra was wearing, along with the queen, y'all. The queen is freaking gorgeous. Something I will always love about African movies is just the representation that I got as a younger child. Growing up on African movies, I always seen somebody that looked like me. Like, I never had a, oh my god, like, this person doesn't like look like me. I'm not the standard of beauty. At least as a child, I didn't. Of course, as I got older, it wasn't really a problem for me because I always seen dark-skinned women. Like America had a problem with putting black women on the screen. I was seeing dark-skinned women on the screen consistently as a child. So that's one thing I'll always love about African movies, is that I know that I will be represented. But y'all, can we talk about how the guy that's holding the umbrella, it's like just constantly moving? Mind you, this umbrella is huge. So the king is just like standing in one place, maybe shuffling a couple of inches left and right. But this man is just moving. I'm talking about moving. Like, what is all that action for? This man is not going anywhere. So the next scene is where we are introduced to the main character, Mafia, who is a maid of Princess Tyra. And she walks in with a bowl of oil and a bowl of water and kneels at the foot of my hubby's bed. My husband notices that there is someone that enters his room, and he just watches her as she's just kneeling at his bed. And he's like, what are you doing?
I'm here to perform my duty, Your Highness.
Your duty?
And she's like, I'm here for my ceremonial duties or something like that. And he's like, and what is that? Like, what are you here? Like, again, like, what is that? And she says, I'm here to wash your feet, your highness. I'm not gonna lie. The way that they positioned this whole beginning of the scene, I thought that something else was gonna happen. And you can't blame me, because like, they really left it all to the imagination. And two, can we talk about how Van was just smirking like, they casted the right one. Let me stop. She's just like, okay, I'm here to wash your feet, basically. And he's like, bro, like, it's the 21st century. Y'all still washing motherfucking feet? I mean, y'all still washing feet? Like, really? Like, this is so barbaric. Like, why do y'all do this? And of course, after he finishes talking shit, he's like, fine, like, you can wash my feet. He sits up on the bed and he's like, he's just looking at her, like, washing his feet. He's just like, I've never seen someone wash feet with so much grace and humility. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was when I stopped watching the movie. Apparently, I just need a tutorial on how to wash feet with grace and humility so I can bag me a prince. But I was fairly confused on how you can do that. How do you wash feet with grace and humility? This man was just in awe. Like, no one has ever washed his feet like that. She wasn't the first person to touch his feet. Other people touched his feet before. So that means out of all the maids, she was the best foot washer out of all of them. She's like the GOAT at foot washing. She took the compliment as humbly as she did by smiling up at him. Yeah. He then tells her that he likes it. And that is when the party pooper comes in, Princess Tyra, and basically points out the obvious. Okay, it looks like you're enjoying this foot ceremony a little bit too much. Maid, get the f out.
Would you get that rubbish off the floor and get your pathetic life out of this room?
And my hubby was not happy about it. Like, you was the one that sent her in here, like, and you're, you know, catching that attitude. And I'm just like, first of all, she's catching the attitude because she's seen that you were attempting to flirt with the maid. They get to bickering, and the most dramatic music plays as they're bickering because Tyra was not having it. You can tell that they barely like each other. They have as much chemistry as oil and water. Y'all, this next scene had me so just confused. So tell me why, right? Monty's just cleaning the bathroom, you know, just doing her duties as a maid, you know, minding her business, right? Then Van comes in the bathroom to start peeing. They didn't notice each other, of course, but, you know, he starts doing his royal duties. I was wondering how was the writer's, you know, process of doing this, because how did she not notice that he was peeing? Because when pee hits the toilet, it makes noise. Literally just went to the bathroom and realized that I had no foundation. Like, I didn't put on any foundation. So this video is going to be a no foundation look. And I guess be grateful, because 2 in 1, 3 in 1, crazy, right? Who doesn't like me? Nobody. She's just, you know, minding her business. And, you know, she comes out the little corner that she was in, and she gets startled. Like, she gets honestly scared that she's seeing somebody use the bathroom. Like anybody else would, right? Like, if you walk in on somebody on the toilet, like, you're gonna get startled, especially if this person is your boss and or a married man. The prince is very amused. He just looks at her and just kind of chuckles a little bit, like he found that funny that she was scared. Because this is supposed to be like the most romantic part of the movie, and you will see why. So he zips up his pants, sits on the toilet, and says, like, you can turn around now, like, chill out. And he basically told her, like, hey bro, it's not that deep. He literally says,
I don't think there's anything wrong with seeing somebody else urinate.
this is coming from the same person that said washing feet was barbaric, but watching someone else piss is the 21st century way of living. The math isn't mathing. It's not. Make it make sense. Like, watching someone pee is like, oh well, your maids just be cleaning while you just peeing. Child, you know he be having fun with his maids, trying not to get demonetized, but you know what he be doing with his maids. As casually as he said that, like, you know. So again, he says, hey, like, I'm not gonna tell nobody, like, just chill out, like, chill out. And he walks out the bathroom and she continues doing her duties as a maid. I just find this so inappropriate and like softcore harassment, because I would have just left the bathroom, and him and her literally seeing him in that state could literally get her fired. And he was just so lax about it. Like, what if Tyra walks into your room? What if she just walks by? Because you know she likes barging in. And he's amused that she's scared. You know why she's scared. Tyra will not only go off on her, she will slap her and fire her within a split second. And you're just, at least show a little bit that you care about her keeping her job. I'm not really telling you guys what products I'm using as I'm going on, so I'm trying to get better at this. So I have the Makeup Revolution London Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer in the color C16. Yes, I know it was dirty, but who gonna fight me about it? Nobody, because I don't fight. So the next scene is honestly pretty questionable. My husband is asking Mafia's friend, which is also a maid at the palace, like, hey, have you seen the girl that washes my feet every morning? You don't even know her name. She washes your feet every morning. She cleans your bathroom. I would assume that she cleans your room as well, and you don't even know her name. Be f***ing for real. So he calls her over and he's like, hey, where's she at? Like, I haven't seen her. And her friend says, oh, this is a big line. Her friend says, like, Your Highnessy, like, she has gone home for the day. And he says, like, hey, I would love to see her. So her friend takes the prince, her boss's fiance, to the maid's house. And I, as a viewer, am not supposed to question any of this. The scene cuts to Mafia coming home from work. So Mafia is walking to her house, and her, she comes into her house. Her mom is cleaning up, not doing any type of vigorous work. She's just like, sweeping the dust off of a table, right? And all of a sudden, her mom has an asthma attack, just out of nowhere. Now, that looks kind of suspicious. I don't have asthma. I don't know how asthma attacks get triggered, but I would think you would have to be doing some vigorous work or something that requires a little more effort for you to get an asthma attack. And her mom basically is in the process of dying because of nothing. And she's like, oh, where's your inhaler? Like, where's your inhaler? And I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. But again, I don't have asthma. So when Mafia was going to get her her inhaler, right? Mafia was gone for like 30 minutes. Mafia was gone for a long time, because when Mafia was, running on, oh my God, like my mom's gonna die. Like, oh my God, my mom's gonna die. Like, I don't have any money. Like, hey, she goes to the corner store, tells the guy at the corner store, like, hey, my mom's about to die. She's having another asthma attack. Can you give me another inhaler? And he's like, sis, no, you owe me money. In the rudest way possible.
I don't want to understand. Your mother can die for all I care. No money, no drugs.
Oh my God. I chuckled only a little bit. She runs out and my husband sees her and she's like, oh my God, this is a terrible time for him to come. She tells him, hey, my mom's having an asthma attack. He says, get in the car. And he basically buys her mom a new inhaler and also pays off the balance that she owed the guy. Her mom is saved. Hip hip hooray. So when my husband finally leaves, like after him like overstaying his welcome, the welcome that was never given to him in the first place, Tyra basically just, commented, and he literally went out his way to buy her mom an inhaler and pay off the debt that Tyra owed. Wow, like this man is so nice. Like I don't know why he is with Princess Tyra, because she is an asswipe. Mafia's like, girl, who are you to be the judge of anybody's relationship, their royalty? They're meant to be together. Honey, this is a match made in the heavens. Like, who are we? We're just common maids. And her friend looks at her like, girl, are you blind? This man has been eyeballing you since the second that he got here. And she's like, girl, are you blind? I am a maid. He's not going to be looking at me like that. He looks at me like he looks at every other maid. Like, chill out. Don't play into your fantasies, honey. The next scene is the scene that made me the most upset. Like, I'm just gonna tell you. So again, Mafia is doing her royal duties of washing his feet. He tells her that he's going to be leaving in 3 days. And she asks, like, hey, am I ever going to see you again? Questionable question. Mind you, this is the first time we've seen Mafia express any type of mutual interest towards this man. He's like, yeah, of course, I'll give you my address. Hit me up. All of a sudden, just out of nowhere, this man grabs her face. Like the whole chin thing, like, and he's like,
I love you.
why? She doesn't even look you in the eye. In all of the scenes that they had together, she probably looked this man in the eye 30 seconds in total. But let me remind you, y'all, that this is his official maid. The maid that he is with for majority of the time while she's here, because she cleans his bathroom. I assume that she cleans his bedroom as well, since she comes to wash his feet every morning. So she spends the most time with this man out of all of the maids. So I can understand how they were able to build somewhat of a bond, but love? You wanted me to believe that these two, the girl that doesn't look this man in the eye, that that he loves her and that she feels the same way. You are expecting me to believe that this girl loves this man. For what? And it sucks because this literally happened right after he gave her money. I don't like that. I do not like that. The love bombing, toxic as hell to me. That's toxic. And right after he gave you money too, no, it is not worth it at all. Yeah, he's fine. The younger version of myself would have ate that up. I would have ate that up. Like, oh my God, they are so good for each other. Look at the way that he looks at her. Oh my God. Like, girl, you don't see it? Like, no, that is manipulation. That is manipulation. Again, we are supposed to believe that these two are in love with each other and they're just meant to be for some reason. I'm not okay, but she showed you no personality. She doesn't look you in the eye. What conversations have y'all had? Like, I'm just wondering why. And the thing about it, y'all can't tell me that he doesn't do this to his other maids, because she was not the only person that washed his feet. I don't know. It's giving red flags. So he leaves, right? Him and Tyra get into like another bickering thing, showing the audience again that they are not meant for each other. And they also show us the king, aka Tyra's father, flirting with the queen, aka my husband's mom. Y'all can't tell me that they weren't flirting. Look at the way that they look at each other. Come on. I would have been able to digest that storyline better than Mafia and my husband. Like, try to make me believe that. So the next scene, we see Mafia running out the building and throwing up on the lawn. Her friend notices that she's throwing up, and she's been throwing up for a while now, just out of the blue. Her friend basically says, like, girl, you have to tell this man that you got him pregnant. Like, her friend basically says, like, girl, you have to tell this man that he got you pregnant. Like, this is your ticket out. Mind you, her friend is thinking big. Girl, this is your ticket out. Like, bump everything. Like, you got his number and you got his address. Like, girl, no. This girl, get out of here. Like, this could probably be your only way to just leaving the maid life. And of course, like, she's like, bro, like, I really don't know how I got myself into this. Like, I don't know how the hell am I gonna do this? And she says, like, you have to contact him, and if he wants you to get rid of the baby, then so be it, but you have to tell him that he got you pregnant. Now, we don't know where they could have done it at. I'm assuming after, wow, my eyebrows, whatever, concealer, right? I'm assuming they did it after he confessed his ever dying love to her. She did not even look remotely interested in this man. Like, she literally showed zero type of let me not rant about this right now. Basically, whatever, she finds out that she's pregnant through her friend that noticed the obvious, and she goes home, and guess what happened? Her mom is having another asthma attack. But this time, alas, that inhaler was a little bit out of reach. Yep, her mom died. I didn't see this coming. Now Mafia is a single mother. Her mom passed away, and she's possibly having a baby from her boss's fiance. Fast forward, her friend basically told the rest of the maids that she's pregnant with the prince's baby, and they all give her money. Like, they literally all collectively come together and give her enough money to travel to Accra to see this man, to tell him. And I think that was, like, so nice of them. Like, they really didn't even have to do that. But I wish the relationship between the maids were Like, they went into that a little more. Like, what relationship do the maids have with each other? But apparently they are close enough to collectively give her money. Like, it's not like a crabs in a barrel mentality, which is something I really liked. But they gave her money to go to Accra to basically like go after her dreams. She heads off to Accra and they play that music again. Woo, woo. Woo, woo. And she gets to the princess house where she is met by the rudest guard ever. Like, excuse you? He gets let in by the guard, and you know, the prince is not here, but his mother is here. His mom is like, okay, who are you? What are you doing here? And why do you want to see my son? If you need a job, I have enough maids. Thanks. She basically confessed to her that she had an affair with her son and her son got her pregnant. I'm using the True Complexion contour palette from medium to dark. Again, this is very beginner friendly. Like, you can literally get this at Walmart and Target. This caused his mom to slap the everlasting dog shit out of her.
I will not have you tell me this fabricated lie. Do you understand?
It's true, Ma. I'm pregnant for Prince K.
I said stop lying!
3 times. She didn't slap her once. She slapped her 3 times. It's like she knew that she was going to get slapped. So she just... The mom orders her out, understandably so. And the mom is understandably so upset. I mean, I wouldn't have slapped her 3 times, but if somebody walked into my house and accused my married son of sleeping with the maid, I wouldn't be so quick to jump to conclusions either. I would think, okay, you're lying. You're poor, so you're obviously trying to extort money from us. Leave my sight. Like, and again, I understand that. Like, would I have slapped her? No, but I would have at least called the princess to at least tell her, like, hey, like, your maids are tripping, girl. Sis starts to camp outside of the house in hopes to see the prince and tell her the news herself, because I mean, at this rate, the mom isn't gonna believe you. So she's like, oh, why don't let me just tell the man that told me that he loved me after a week of us doing nothing. The security guard notices that she's still outside the house, like she's not going anywhere. So she gets let in again, and the mom is like, how much do you want? Like, how much did they pay you to frame my son? Of course, Mafia has no idea what this girl's talking about, but obviously this is a royal family. They're trying to get as much tea from them as possible. So she gives Mafia a lump sum of money and says, here's you go. You obviously needed money because nobody would just be doing this for free. Like, she literally isn't even going to entertain the fact that her son got a maid pregnant. So she gave her like a couple of $1,000s and says, like, here, go back to where you came from, and I don't want to ever see you again. Bye. She just started walking around like the streets, but I'm guessing, like, if she said she doesn't want to see her again, I'm pretty sure she told Princess Tyra that her maid was here, and I'm pretty sure Princess Tyra noticed that one of her maids were gone, so she probably knew, like, okay, now I don't have a job. So now her mom died. She's a single mom. She doesn't have a job, and she basically kind of ruined her reputation in a way. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Concealer in the color Cashew. And I'm going to be using the Holy Grail, the Laura Mercier. I don't put this all over my face. I only put this on the inner corners of my eye because this, oh my God, this literally melts into my skin. But if I put this all over my face, I'm going to be looking like Bozo the Clown. And I don't want to go for that look. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. But she walks around Accra, homeless, you know, needs a job. So she runs into this woman and basically says, like, hey, I'm homeless, I got a baby, I need help. And the woman is like, you know what, I'm gonna help you. The woman lets her in to her house, and that is where she tells the woman everything that happened to her, like literally everything. And the woman, you know, believes her because how else are we supposed to move the plot along if she didn't believe her? And she's like, wow, like she literally paid you hush money. Like, that's crazy. I don't know about y'all, but I don't remember the queen paying her hush money, or at least money to get rid of the baby. The queen literally gave her money and said, hey, get out my sight. I don't want to see you because you're obviously trying to, you know, frame my child for something that he didn't do. But Mafia took it as like, no, she wants me to give her the baby. This is hush money. And I can see how it's being seen like that, because it's like, damn, like she slapped me 3 times. And I can understand like being slapped that hard can affect your hearing.
I said stop lying!
So the girl that she just met is like understandably mad. Like, wow, like these people are so cruel. Like, what the heck? Like, we're gonna go over there and we're gonna give them a piece of my mind. So tell me why. The girl, right? Mind you, she doesn't know this girl from a can of paint. She goes over to the queen's palace to yell at her. The balls on this woman. The queen was like, girl, you are lucky that I'm having a good day. Please get out of my sight. You and your friend are obviously lying. Like, my son isn't even in the freaking country. Like, I don't know why you're trying to get money from me and my son, but I'm gonna need y'all to get the stepping. So that's basically how the movie ends. Like, Mafia gets kicked out for the 3rd time now. She gains a new friend that, I mean, I can't even say if it's like, oh my god, that's a real friend, because like, for one, like, to me that was a red flag, because I'm like, okay girl, like now I just know that you are attracted to drama, because why did you just do that? Like, why did you just do that? Because I was over here thinking, okay, she's gonna get her a job. Like, that was where I wanted the storyline to move. Ideally, I wanted the storyline to move in a direction of like, oh, you know what, she meets this woman helps her get her back up on her feet. She finds her a good paying job, I don't know, as like a desk assistant. They raise the child together. She becomes an independent woman, you know, she does things for herself. She bumps into the prince, bam, oh shoot, you was that maid that I banged a couple of years back. Of course, majority, if not all, African movies have like 4 parts to everything. So this is just part 1. There's like 2 other parts after this. And I'll be, of course, making a video. It would be nice if she kind of like had this story arc of her like finding her confidence and her finding her independence. I can hope that is what the part 2 is going to be, like her literally finding independence. If y'all have any makeup tips, please advise me in the comments. My predictions for the next movie: the son comes back to town. I don't know how the mom is. Maybe the mom will tell him like, hey, like there's a random maid telling me that you knocked her up. Like, what the fuck is that about? My predictions is that she's going to be a boss woman. She's gonna level up. I don't know if they're gonna do like a time lapse thing, but I can only hope that they go that route, because I don't know, because I don't want to see her down bad. Like this, she has been looking at the ground more than she has been looking at other characters. Like, please develop her into an independent woman while she's in her crowd. Like, I don't want her to just be like just sorry. Like, she's just sorry. Like, she feels sorry for herself all the time. This is a type of archetype that I was raised on. Like, the poor girl and like the rich man comes and saves her. Like, the really Cinderella-esque movie. Like, this is very much like a Cinderella movie. But like, looking back at it, like rewatching it, I'm noticing the amount of just toxic scenarios that are being put in the movie. Like, for one, When Tyra's mom died, literally everyone around her was telling her to get over it. Only a month passing, you're telling your friend to get over the death of her mom. Like, that's very insensitive, and like, you sound like a fucking ass when you say that. Like, do not tell me how long I should be grieving. And then the prince, like, he literally slept with with the maid. And then the thing is, like, I don't know if the directors of this movie was trying to genuinely make him out as like a good person, as like a person that genuinely cared about this person, but his actions showed otherwise. He gave her a number that didn't even work. Like, when her friend tried to call the number, it didn't work. Like, the phone was off. And again, he slept with his fiance's like maid. Like, you can't try to trick me and say, oh no, this is a good guy. Like, he's not like the other royals. Like, no, like, you can't use that pick me shit like on me. Like, I don't believe that. He literally got somebody else pregnant. All right, he doesn't know that she's pregnant, but still, like, y'all, just I just want to see how they evolve this storyline. Like I said, if you're interested in me doing more movies like this, or just wanting to hear from me again, comment what country you are from, or comment what country you're from, and just tell me what you liked about the movie, what you disliked, and like your whole thing about watching African movies, because I can only assume that you have watched this movie or any other African movies if you watch this video. And if you haven't watched any African movies, let me know how you feel about it. I'm going to be linking the movie down in the description box along with my other social medias, so please follow me on TikTok, support me on Instagram, and remember to have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye, you guys.